How's it going, YouTube? Everything is Tech here with a review of the Motorola Xoom Wi-Fi tablet. Now, I can't honestly say this enough, but this is a really great device. It's a great tablet, and I really wasn't fond of the Android operating system until I really got my hands on the Motorola Xoom. And, using Honeycomb 3.0, which is the OS it runs, I really did become fond of the Android OS a lot more than I actually previously was. So I'm going to just first of all go over some of the quick specs and overview features of the Xoom. Now, first things first, this screen size is 10.1 inches, and that goes into diameter length. The resolution is 1280 by 800, which is a really decent resolution for a tablet. In addition, it has a processor of an NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual core. So that means this has a 2-core processor chip inside with 512 megabytes, and this the specs. Now, this weighs about 1.6 pounds, which is a pretty decent weight size. Although, some people do complain that holding the tablet for a long amount of hours or time, or maybe 30 minutes or more, actually begins to bother you, but I don't find that to be the case. It's really not too big of a deal for me personally. The battery life on this is 10 hours, which is a really decent battery life. You can get a good amount of videos and music and browsing the web on Wi-Fi with the 10-hour battery life, so that's pretty great. And the only inputs this has is, actually this does have a couple inputs. This has an HDMI out, which actually you need a specialized HDMI port for this, so you have to buy that separately. You also have the syncing button, and this is the USB adapter plug-in, which is the syncing one. And then this little circle over here is for the charger adapter. Over here you have a microphone, which is really great. And on the top over here you have the 3.5mm audio input jack, and over here you have an input for your micro SM's card, or whatever that's called. It's something similar to that, the micro SD card slot. And then you have the button to turn this device on or to wake it from the sleep. And over here you have the 2 speakers, if you can see that really well, right over here and right over here. And then, believe it or not, this device actually has a camera too. This camera is a 5 megapixel camera, and the microphone is over here. And I think that's the only microphone. And it also has another camera in the front row over here, and that is a 3 megapixel camera. Now, first things first, what I really want to get over to is the design and overall build quality of this device. Now, I really have to say that this is really nicely built. I don't have any really problems with the how well this is built. This has a really good grip on this. Like, this is made out of some nice material. I guess this is kind of iron or steel. One way or another, it's really great. Over here you have some kind of rubberish material. It's not quite rubber, but it's kind of the hard, thick kind of rubber, if you know what I mean. And it's really nicely packed into this device. And while you're holding the actual device, you're holding it, it feels really good on the hands, and you get a really nice kind of grip on this, so you don't feel like you're going to drop it or it's going to slip from your hands. Next thing I really want to cover is the storage and operating system. This gives you a total of about 32 gigabytes of memory that you can actually store movies, files, or anything you want on this device, and you can store up to 32 gigs. Now, if you feel that you're running low on the space, you can always purchase a mini SD card slot, and you can just plug this in right into the device, and there you go. You can pretty much double up to the amount of space you can store on this. So since you get up to 32 gigs of micro SD card, and that's the maximum available space in those cards, this total device can store up to 64 gigs from that. But when you buy this from the store directly, this comes with 32 gigs of space inside of it, so that's not bad at all. So now on to the operating system. Pretty much before you even get to the operating system, you need to know how to turn this device on. And one thing I really don't like about this device is that the turning on button is actually in the back. So if you maybe have your Xoom maybe just flat down, you actually have to maybe lift it up and click on this button, which actually gets a little annoying once in a while, but that's not a huge deal. Although it would be really nice to have the home screen button or the turn on button somewhere around on the top or bottom, or somewhere that you really didn't have to lift the device up for. Now, to turn on the operating system, all you really have to do is take your hand and just drag this circle outside of the little circle. So that kind of sounds odd, and it pretty much takes you to your home screen. Now, Honeycomb 3.0 definitely, I think, is a huge improvement from 2.2. 2.2 used to be really laggy for me, of course, when I had my Droid X, and it used to have a couple problems. It used to just randomly shut down, or it wasn't really well built in my opinion. And Honeycomb 3.0 is definitely a huge advancement from 2.2 to 3.0. Of course, it is a little still unstable, if you know what I mean. I definitely think Google could have put more work onto the actual operating system, but it has definitely gotten much better from the previous versions. Now, this still has a little bit of lag. Maybe once in a while, if I want to click on an application, it maybe takes one or two more clicks or taps to actually open the application, which isn't really a huge deal, but it just kind of does show that the operating system does lack a little of stability. Some things I really like about the operating system is this new small taskbar, as I'd call it. That's really just my name for it, but this really is your lifeline, I'd say, to use the tablet. Over here is the time, and if you click on the time, you have some general settings that you might use, like your volume, it tells you the date and the time and what network you're on. And if you click on another small category, this gives you some of the basic general specs or settings you probably need to use, like airplane mode, Wi-Fi, lock screen, notifications, settings, and etc. So that's really always great to have, and it's really simple instead of always just clicking on the settings and then looking for some of the specs or features. In addition, you have these three buttons which allow you to navigate back. This middle button takes you to the home screen, and this last button over here takes you to the recently opened your 5 recently most opened tabs or applications, and that's really great. And it's really simple to use, just 3 buttons and just the time, and that's all there is to it. Browsing the web on this is really great. All you have to really do to open the web page is go on browser and click that, and you're pretty much on your browser. Now, pretty much to use the browser, it's really simple to use. This is the URL barcode, which you enter the URL. Say I want to go to maybe YouTube. Just click YouTube. The keyboard as well, it's really great to type on, and since this is a 10.1 inch screen, typing on this it's much faster than you would typing on a mobile phone, and that's pretty obvious. Now, this is my actual YouTube channel, and the great part about the Xoom is that it actually has flash, which is definitely a huge advantage over many other tablets. Now, of course, when you first open this device up and start going on the browser, you don't have flash. You actually have to download the flash little application that's in the marketplace, and then you can use flash and you're really good to go. And besides that, besides downloading flash, everything else comes with the device itself. Right as you open it, you can click on browser and go to really any web page you want. Now, the overall browsing speed of this is great as well. Say I want to maybe open Google, so I'll just type in Google and I'll hit it, and it loads it really fast. And mainly because this has a dual core processor, loading web pages is much faster than a lot of tablets out there in the market today. So how much will this tablet run you? This comes with just one option, I believe, and that's $599, so $600 for this Xoom, and this is the Wi-Fi only. Of course, this also comes in the 3G models, but when you actually buy a 3G model of this, you have to get it activated from either Verizon, AT&T, or I believe T-Mobile. So to conclude this video, all I really want to say is this device, it's a really great tablet. I think this is one of the best tablets that has come out in the market in 2011 so far, up to April. The operating system is fantastic. It has a front-facing and back-facing camera. The front-facing camera takes up to 3 megapixel still shots, and also takes video in VGA quality, I believe. And the back-facing camera is 5 megapixels, and the video it takes is 720p HD, and that's fantastic. Now, some of the things I really like about this device is its camera. The camera is really well made, and the photos and videos it takes, it's really great. The videos aren't too great, but the photos, on the other hand, they're pretty good. You're probably watching or seeing a still photo right now, and I definitely think the photo is really great. Now, this is a video you're watching probably right now. It's on the okay side. It's nothing really too fancy or great, but it's better than having nothing. So I really have to appreciate having a camera and video camera on the Xoom. Another thing I really like about this is the build quality. Of course, if you have a great device and you don't have a really well-built device, that's not great at all, especially if it's made out of some cheap material or plastic. You're definitely not going to appreciate that at all. So the build quality I really like. It has really nice grip on it, and it's really nicely made. In addition, I like the notification LED lights, which is right over here, and that pretty much is lighted whenever you have a new notification or new mail or any new push-to-push application that actually allows you to have your notifications. And the only really dislike I have about this device is the operating system not being really stable, if you know what I mean. Once in a while this does tend to lag, as I mentioned earlier. But that's not a really huge problem, and you really can deal with it, and that's really my only dislike. And thanks for watching. This sums up my review. I hope you all have a great day. And if you really think if you're thinking of buying this device and you have any questions, please feel free to comment or send me a message or send me an email at everythingistech@gmail.com. So thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace out.